Now we're ready to take photos, but before you do, we want to do a check of our environment around us to limit glare. Glare or highlights on the shade tabs and or teeth is something that you don't want. You'd be surprised where that might come from. For example, a big window. A lot of times when the patient is facing a big window, you see big squares on their teeth of reflection and also on the shade tab. What do? You draw the blinds, okay? If you can't do that, simply just turn the patient's dental chair, and that way the big glare won't be coming from a window. There's another item, and that is your ceiling lights. Oftentimes ceiling lights also are going to be a source of glare. So here's a couple things of what you can do. Is you can raise your dental chair as high as it'll go, and then you could be on the same plane as your patient. You don't want your patient laying down where their teeth and or shade tab are facing the lights. Now something that we can do with ShadeWave Mobile is that we can actually turn the lights off. Now we're not going to do that for this video simply because then you wouldn't be able to see very well. But with ShadeWave Mobile you can. So it has a flashlight. I'm not sure, I don't want to blind you, okay, a little bit, but it has a flashlight which lights up the teeth just great, and that way you don't have glare from the ceiling, you don't have glare from a big window, and you're going to send an excellent picture to your dental lab so they can do the very best work possible. For those of you that can't turn your ceiling lights out, we have a great product. This is from Newer. It's a diffuser. And let's open that up. And you have to be careful because it kind of explodes. Okay? Now, you have your assistant simply hold this over the patient's head. It diffuses the ceiling lights out, and it won't put glare on your shade tab. So that's something that you can do, again, if you can't turn your ceiling lights off. Now, as we approach our patient, there's one more thing to think about glare, and that is the angle that you hold your shade tabs to the flash, because if it's at 90 degrees, oftentimes there's unwanted glare or highlights right on the shade tabs, and you can't see the shade, nor can your lab. So what you're going to do is just tilt it in a little bit toward your patient. I'll go ahead and demonstrate that. Okay, so I'm holding the shade tabs. I'm tilting it in just a little bit, moving the camera in, snap, and that came out perfect.